Now, if I were to ask you a question, how would you respond? Foilta? Kanisitatu? Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás? Guten Tag, wie geht's? Goedemiddag, hoe gaat het? Bonjour? You understood what I said when you understood the language. That seems reasonable, sensible. Those who didn't understand the language, the first one was Gaelic. I like that one because there's not very many people that know Gaelic, and I can get away with it. Although this morning at breakfast, there was a gentleman I started chatting with that obviously had an Irish accent. I spent my repertoire of Gaelic on him, and he appreciated it because he was here for a visit. And he understood me. But the key is knowing the language. If you know the language, you know what is being said and you know how to respond. And that's what dreams are all about as well. Let me open up with a dream. I was alone in a foreign land, and as I looked up, I saw soldiers approaching me from every side. They had rifles, and they looked intent on getting me. Suddenly, people started to walk in and around me. They formed a tight circle around me, facing the soldiers, and there were several layers deep. I knew somehow that their message to the soldiers was, you better reconsider what you're planning to do. And then I woke up. Have you ever had a dream like that? I mean, it amazes me all the time how creative the dreams are that people have. And they come from a God who wrote the book on creativity and creation. I had this dream, and I couldn't quite key it into anything that was going on in my life at the time. I tried to understand some of the symbols, and if I find if it's not coming really easily, I just kind of lay it aside because maybe it's not time yet. And so I did that. Well, that next day, I was speaking at a church in North Sydney, Australia, talking about dreams, and I gave a short presentation, and afterwards I was just mingling with the people and chatting. And a woman came up to me and said, "Steve, may I talk to you in private?" Now, that happens quite often. And so I said, "Sure." Well, we stepped aside, and she said, "While you were up there speaking, I saw this huge demon behind you, and he was reaching for your throat." And then she said, "May I pray for you?" And as she said that, I remembered the dream. Of course, I said, "Sure, I'd appreciate you praying for me." I remembered the dream. And suddenly, the understanding is there. God is letting me know that He will look after me, and I don't have to worry about that. It's a phenomenal, encouraging message in that. And to watch it played out even the next day is just phenomenal.